I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Got an itch on my shoulder. Been a crazy day for flights. Man, the sky's active. I've been biking. I haven't been uploading the videos. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 30 minutes on the bike. And then I'm going to go right to the gravity trainer, which has really become like my favorite thing. I like biking because I'm good at it. I like it. But this gravity trainer thing, I'll tell you something. The gravity trainer is amazing. It's, I'm looking at it right now. It's just an amazing piece of equipment. And I've said this before, but I haven't scratched the surface. I haven't even come close to scratching the surface of the different exercises you can do. But I can feel and see a difference. With biking, I can see a difference because I'm losing weight. And my legs are very Foy. When I was with Foy, he's like, dude, your legs, you can tell you've been biking. So visually, you know, my legs are getting stronger, but I'm losing weight everywhere else. But with this gravity trainer, and I haven't even used it I think I've used it because I'm trying to be smart. I'm trying to do the where you give your body a chance to heal. So I'm gonna turn this for 1 second and adjust myself. So I have not got bike shorts yet. I'm probably gonna catch some heat for that. I'll get some biking shorts. I know there's a few people that have commented. They're probably laughing right now. Biking shorts make it a lot easier for men to bike. Anyhow. So in just a little bit of time that I've used that gravity trainer, I can see results. So now what's happening is the weight that I lost, I'm putting back on, but it's not fat, it's muscle. So it's interesting. So it's not even really that I'm losing weight, it's just transferring. It's kind of a funny thing. You want to hear a tragedy? And I joke because there are real tragedies in this world. This is not ES Power Drink, but I have some on the way. ES Power Drink. Man, oh man, that stuff is so good. A lot of good stuff going on right now. It's interesting. It's all, you know, the funny thing when you're a content creator and there's stuff in the behind the scenes, you all get to see it eventually. Because it's what I do, I create content. So I got some content I'll be creating soon. That is really, really cool. Like almost make you forget about Hulu Cool. Pretty excited about it. For some reason, it's back in kilometers and not miles. So far on the gravity trainer, I think I've done, like, a lot of them are just variations of a similar motion, like the butterfly motion, like where you do this. And there are different kind of, you know, there's all kinds of different variations that work different muscles. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I really had sick abs when I started my channel, like a washboard stomach. I did. And I've lost it. And even though I'm older, I'm gonna get it back. I'm close. They're coming back. Here's the thing about abs. Everybody's got them. It's just that you usually can't see them. Everybody's got them. It's just part of our body. been a good, since I started working out on this, the benefits have been amazing. I feel better, I sleep better, my lungs are better, like cardiovascularly, marked improvements. I look and feel better. And I got a glorious little suntan going on. You know what I was thinking? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing this summer. I can't put it in the house. I'm a pig, I sweat everywhere, it'd be gross. And in the summer, it's like 110 here. And I'm really curious how this is gonna handle 110 degrees. Because I know that computers don't really like heat. And unfortunately, I just don't have the ability to put this inside. Are you guys goal people? Do you like write goals down, or do you have goals that you actually work towards, or are you just kind of getting up and doing the grind? Because I'm an old enough guy that I've done both, where you find yourself kind of in this, where you're just not going through the motions, but you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Be wicked engaged. I'm trying to be. I want to be engaged. I want to be like living in the moment big time. Here's one of the things that I've done. It's sad as can be, but I've wished most of my life away. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait for her. I can't wait for her. I can't wait for her. Oh, I just can't wait for her. What you do when you do that is thank God. You ever hear people say one day at a time? Thank God we can only live one day at a time. Because if we could live 5 days at a time, like let's say you had something special coming up and it was a month away, and you said, man, I want to live 5 days at a time and just get there quicker, we'd all be gone. We live our lives in a flash. Savor the moment. A great email from Anik. Sorry for blasting like this. It was a beautiful email. And sometimes, and I said this to her, I emailed her back, and I said, if I don't watch TV, like network television or mainstream TV, I just don't. But if you do, you can easily find yourself just overwhelmed with the sadness, the suffering, the misery, and the woeful situation that this entire planet is in right now. It's easy to get lost in that. And Anik sent me a really beautiful email. There's still light in the world. There's still love and beauty and kindness. There is. It's all around us all the time. And sometimes we get so busy with things that we just kind of don't see them. Man, I'm telling you, the skies are so active right now. I would say that 75% of the planes that I see are not commercial. And I mean, the variety of military planes is staggering. All kinds of, like the Hercules and A-10 and I don't know if F-15 or F-18 or Raptors, but it's just everything is around here. And the weird thing is, since I've been here, which has been, I don't even know, they've always been one plane at a time, just kind of flying around. Now I'll see 4 at a time. So it's interesting. With the fighters, they're 4 at a time. With the A-10 Warthogs, they're only 2 at a time. I've never seen them more than just a pair. And the cargo planes are always by themselves. But you see Apaches all the time. And there you'll see like 4 or 5 or 6 flying together. So, but the level of activity And around here, anybody who lives in Tucson will tell you, it's amazing. So I'm 10 minutes in, I'm a third of the way through the ride. Approaching 6 kilometers. It's funny, I ran a marathon in Siberia. And that was at the time when it's kind of a cool story because I lost a lot of weight. And I went from a non-runner, like ever, to I had 90 days. From the day that they said, hey, you want to go to Russia? To the day that I said, sure. I had 90 days. And I went from about 200, maybe 205 or so. And 90 days later, on race day in Siberia, I don't know if it was 160 or 165 pounds. I was lean. Looked like beef jerky. But when I trained in America, obviously. I live here. And I had a couple running partners that I'd run with. At first, I would try to keep up with them, and then it got to the point where they were trying to keep up with me. And we had, like on a long day where we'd run 20 miles, there were markers. We knew where we had 5 miles left. And I would always, so I kind of knew where I should be feeling at what point, because I knew it was mileage. So I trained like crazy. Ran a lot, lost a ton of weight, got to Russia. So I'm there for like a month, right? And what we were doing is we were rebuilding an orphanage. It was falling apart, like on the exterior, and there were just a ton of kids that nobody ever loved or told them somebody loves them. Never got hugs, ever. So we went there to do that. So because of being there, and the commitments that we had with the orphanage, I couldn't run. And I've read, I don't know if it's true, but that every day, if you're in marathon form, every day you don't train, you lose 3% of your conditioning. So, I was in great shape. The last long run I ran in America before I left, it was like I think it was a 22-mile training run. And I ran the last mile in under 6 minutes. I was in amazing shape. And I get to Russia and I couldn't run. So, and I wasn't eating food that was going to be conducive to protein and carbohydrates and gas for my engine. So anyway, the day of the race starts. It was sort of funny. You have to, if you're a marathoner, you have to have like Vaseline, and you've got to put it on the inside of your thighs. You got to put it on your nipples, or put Band-Aids on your nipples and under your arms, because if you don't, when you're done with 26.2 miles, you're ruined. It's brutal. So I did that once. It was raining once, and I ran like a 15 or 20 mile inside on a treadmill, which was so boring. But I was bleeding. My nipples were bleeding. So it's the morning of the race. I'm standing there. I realized I didn't have any Vaseline. And there was this dude a few feet away from me, a Russian, and he had a can. It looked like just a tin can. No label on it, just a can. And he had lard. Lard. And I said, can I have some of your fat, please? And he let me have some. I smeared it all over my legs and under my arms. Smelled like a barbecue. Halfway through. So I start the race. We were supposed to have bottled water, American water that we brought over. And we were going to have Americans from our team staged along the race because you can't drink Russian water. Oh, you can drink it, but you'll wish you hadn't. So almost immediately, I get jammed up in my head. Number one, this is my first marathon. A ton of people. But what jammed me up was immediately I saw that everything was in kilometers. And I hadn't worked out in my head. You know? So I'm here trying to do math in my dome, trying to figure out where I was and what my pace should be. And I'm looking for the American water, the people with American flags, waving them, screaming for me. Only they weren't there. Everything in Russia was weird. Nothing really worked out well that day. So, from my memory, I think I went like 15 miles before I had anything to drink. And it was 89, 90 degrees, like wicked humid. And so at like 15 miles, I kind of made the commitment. Kind of decided that the next water that comes my way, I'm drinking it. I didn't want to die on a road in Siberia. So water tables come up. I see them. You know, it was weird. There were people there that had little trays of white tablets. I don't know if they were salt tablets or what, but I was like, all set with the tablets. But the next water station, grabbed 2 cups of water. I even drank water out of a gourd that day. I'm not fooling. But every time after that, I drank. I figured I already got it in me. I didn't want to die, so I just drank a lot of Russian water. And there's a famous hill in Boston. It's called Heartbreak Hill. If you've ever run a marathon and you approach a huge hill, you'll understand why that name is just the perfect name, Heartbreak Hill. Well, there's a Heartbreak Hill in the Russian marathon. Siberian, there was that year, the way I had it mapped out. And it was towards the end, maybe at like 24 miles or so. Somewhere between 23 and 22 and 24, maybe 25. It was towards the end. And I'm dying. Other than that, it was very flat. And I'm coming around this corner, and I see this hill. And it was like the most devastating thing to look at. I remember it looked like Mount Everest. And then I almost wanted to cry. It was just terrifying looking. And as I started to go up the hill, the strangest thing in the world happened. I'm telling you the true story. I started using different muscles. You know, when you run, you're using if you run on a flat, you glide. You don't bound or jog when you're a marathoner. You glide to have the most efficient motion, so you expend the least amount of energy. So you really do glide instead of bound. And so anyway, you're using a certain set of muscles when you're gliding like that in a certain way, right? Well, when you're going up a hill, you're using different muscles in a different way. So as I started to climb this hill, the strangest thing happened. Instead of getting demoralized and feeling like I wanted to cry, all of a sudden, like I ran up that hill. I got this second wind that was unbelievable. And it was funny because I was with people on that hill that were experiencing the exact same thing. We looked at each other and smiled. We're like, wow. Because it was a weird experience. I knew they were going through it. And then we get to the top of that. It was a big, big hill. Ironically, it was one of the easier parts of the race. Physically. Mentally. It was before and after. It was brutal. Before the hill started, it was terrifying looking. And then when I got to the top, I swear, 1 or 2 steps after I got to the top and it flattened out again, I hit the wall all over again. That was awful. Really just like the wall. Whoever came up with that expression deserves an award. Because it's as though, no lie, It's as though you ran into a wall. I finished it. You know what was really funny? I got donations. People say, I'll give you $1 a mile or 50 cents a mile. I went into the barber who used to cut my hair. Yeah, I used to have hair. And I went in there like within a couple days. I was with Tommy too. I went in there within a couple days of committing to doing this marathon. And we called him Three-Fingered Willie. He was a barber who was missing 2 fingers. And he would shave you with a straight razor and you feel just 3 fingers. He was amazing. But I said, hey dude, I'm running a marathon in Russia. He just started laughing. I was 200 pounds. I said, will you sponsor me? Like, give me a... He said, yeah, I'll sponsor you. I can't remember how much he gave me. Because I don't think you'll run a mile. I had friends who saw me like after I had trained, because 90 days isn't that long. It really isn't. So you were friends I just hadn't seen. I saw them, they thought I was sick, I was dying or something, because I lost so much weight. I'll tell you what, it's painful. I got home from the race and I was in the shower. The place we were staying in Siberia, it was Omsk, was the city. It's the capital city of Siberia. There was no hot water in the building we were in. And I didn't care. I just run a marathon, so cold water was good. I was there in the summertime, same building. Boy, that shower was great. I was in the exact same building once in February. Different story, taking a shower in February when it's cold. But anyway, I was in the shower and I dropped the soap. Insert your joke there. But I dropped the soap, I couldn't pick it up. I could not bend over and pick it up. So I kicked it out of the shower. The buddy in the shower next to me hated it today. I couldn't bend over. And then that night, there were 30 people on the trip. And 2 of us not that anyone didn't take it seriously. Boy, I shouldn't say it that way. 2 of us really committed hard and finished it out of 30. Me and a kid named Chad. And Chad, God bless him, let me tell you something, I finished in 4 hours and 20 minutes. Or 4 hours and 10 minutes, I'm not sure what it was. I know I ran 26 10-minute miles back to back. Anyway, Chad, he struggled. Now, early on, there's a new tape. They have a new tape. They hold a tape across for everybody. So when you finish, you get the feeling of crossing the finish line and breaking a tape. They check the finish tape with your chest, and it's just the sickest feeling, And I had kids from the orphanage on the other side of the tape, so it was just an amazing moment. But Chad, it took him like 6 or 7 hours to finish it. And we waited for him. And by the time he crossed the finish line, the TV crews are gone. There's nobody there with the ribbon. The kids are still there. And he finished it. He'll never see this, but Chad, if you see this, it was great. That night, we went to bed. We all slept in the same. There was 30 people on this trip. I would say that maybe half of them were men, half were women. So the men all slept in one room on the floor in sleeping bags, on a wooden floor in sleeping bags. And the women slept in a different room on the floor in sleeping bags. And in the middle of the night, I rolled over. And I can't begin to tell you how much it hurt. So I roll over and I hear somebody crying. I said, hey, who's that? He goes, it's Chad. I said, dude, it's killing me. I'm dying. Every time he rolled over, it just felt like there was someone shoving knives into my legs. And it's quite an experience, though. Okay, about 5 minutes left. And I don't know if I should make this one fluid video. You know what I mean? But it's going to require me moving the camera. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so at 25 minutes right now, I've gone 13 and a half kilometers. crazy. I've been sitting here for 25 minutes. Hasn't really been that many. Oh, there's one, there's two right above me. You just can't hear 'em. Three, you just can't hear 'em. They're everywhere, man. Saw the bobcat this morning. Pretty cool to see a bobcat. He's huge. First time I saw him, he was walking up the driveway like he owned the place. Not tense, not his ears back, like what could jump out. He walked up there. I couldn't believe how big that thing was. I've seen a few bobcats in Vermont, but I have never seen one that big. It was. I don't know what it weighed. I bet it weighed 50 pounds. I'm not kidding. It was huge. Wow, look at that. What a creature. There's some cool animals around here. Here's the thing. It's the animals that you don't see that I'm curious about. Because I guarantee you at night there's some stuff roaming around here that's incredible. Okay, I got 3 minutes left. Those are two, I don't know what they were, but they're showing off. They're flying in front of me. You know I want to do that. I've got to do that wingsuit thing. I just have to. And I really don't want to, do the proximity thing where I hug tree lines and riverbeds. That's not really, those are fun to watch. I just want to have the control of being able to turn and control where there's so much more control. You're flying. Like when you skydive, you're falling. It's a vertical fall. If you go into a stoop, you can definitely go in a certain direction. But when you have a wingsuit on, for every foot you fall, you're flying. You're moving forward. Got to do it. Every time I bring it up, my brother drops the Striker Fox reference. Bonus points if anybody knows the Striker Fox reference. Something I need to do. You guys ever have that something in your life that you just need to do? You have to do it. That's one of the things I have to do. It's not even a bucket list. Bucket list is stuff you want to do. This is something I have to do. I can't explain it really. I got 1 more minute. But I have to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm in the last 40 seconds or so. "30 seconds left, and I'm at 15.76. It'd be cool if I could get to 16. I don't think I'm gonna. 15.8. I have 15 seconds left to go. I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. 10 seconds. I'm at 15.95. I did it. 16.02. 16.04. All right, now let's go sit on the gravity trainer. Put some muscle on. such a good workout. You know what's great about that? I've talked about it before. Zero impact. And I've got, you know, bone problems, man. Back surgeries, artificial stuff in me that shouldn't be in me. Kind of like Frankenstein, really. All right. All right. We'll do 3 sets of 10. Nice and slow. Burns more. I need to do this with my shirt off because I'm going to have such a funny tan line. I think this is 8. I could be wrong. 9. You understand the concept, like what muscle building is? You tear muscle and it rebuilds, and when it rebuilds it gets bigger. That's what muscle is. So if you want to get lean, lots and lots of reps with no weight. If you're trying to get ripped, more weight, fewer reps. Excuse me. At least that's what they tell me. Eyes are stinging. I have a box of peppers on the way to me. Oh, my eyes. It's capsaicin. People think it's the sweat. It's not. All right, one more set. Then I'm going to jump in the pool, get my reward. I'm gonna go to the muscle field. I'm not gonna make it. I think that's only 9, but I ain't getting another one out of me. I can barely put my arms over my head. All right, let's go in the pool now. Holy moly. Here's a weird thing. I would think that I'd be able to do it easier. I've had a day off from doing that. But I had a harder time doing it this time than I did the last time. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Okay. If you'll hang on 1 second while I remove my shoes. I'm coming.
don't want to know.
So, we're done. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. In the description box, you're going to see all the normal stuff. Please check them out. My son, my bro, the challenges, Pepperology. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.